Welcome into the live stream here from McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal. That is Tyler.
What it is, sir?
How are you?
Man, I'm doing great, man. We're trying to get all of our TikTok guys moved over to YouTube. We got a gazillion people over there. So we're trying to get them moved over. Help on the show, Neal. Help on the show.
Yep. Good to have everyone with us. It's episode 200.
How about that?
200 episodes of this show. We've been in Idaho, Alaska, Chicago, Dallas,
Mobile.
Who could forget Mobile?
Who could forget?
Been a lot of places. They said don't start a podcast in July, and I said watch me.
Hold my Diet Miller and watch this.
So I'll be with you today. Gonna talk some week one here on the big show. Had a shorter show yesterday, so we'll talk week one today, and then we'll have Make It Rain.
Make it rain. Oh, that was good.
Thursday.
Much better.
That's
I'm getting
much
it.
better.
I've been practicing.
You're better.
I'm getting her back because Neal, my man Bob, and we'll do it when we get the show, but my man Bob sent last year.
Where's he today? Is he in Arkansas?
I think he's in Bentonville.
Okay.
No, he's in Bentonville for the early part of the week. But my man sent me some Red Dragons last year that I've been saving. I saved a whole case of Red Dragons for Make It Rain Thursday. So guess what's coming out Thursday, Neal?
The Red Dragon.
The Red Dragons are coming to play on Thursday.
I gotta go get some. Rain. My son Carson has requested.
Is mango and citrus? No, yeah, mango and citrus zest. No, citrus zest was one of them.
I think that's one of the ones.
Was it mango or is it strawberry guava?
Strawberry guava is what he likes. That's what he likes.
Yeah,
mango likes the citrus zest too.
Yeah, I like all the flavors, so I'm not partial.
I don't think he's particularly partial either. I think he pretty much likes them all, but those are his.
Dude, the
if
mango.
You said pick a favorite, those are his favorites.
The mango's on point. So
yeah,
it's good stuff. Let's crank her up. Speaking of rain, I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
Let me get a page up real quick. Hold on.
I probably need to get one up too. That'd probably be a good idea, wouldn't it?
Probably would be a smart idea. It's been a busy day on busy.
It's one of those days where I've
been a busy few days on the Ole Miss beat, covering the beat, getting stuff written, and you don't see the hecticness of it. I get back from football about 12:45, and I've got an hour to produce a notebook, and so I look up at 1:20, and I'm like, this isn't going to happen. And then at 1:40, I'm like, some bitch, I did it. I don't know how I did it, but I did it.
And then you get Neal.
Well, what I got today was
Mr. Neal.
Bless her heart. Yeah. Bless her heart. My wife called and she's like, hey, what's going on? And I was like, I'm working. I hate doing that, but you're like, is everything okay? Oh yeah, everything's fine. So we talked for a minute and I'm like, I got to get to it because I'm losing 5 key minutes here.
I did that to my mom today. Hopefully she's not listening. She may be. But my mom called me and I was in the middle of, typing something. I don't know what the mental disease I have is called, but like I have a one-track mind. I have a unique ability to completely 100% uniquely focus on one thing and block everything else out.
Yeah. I'm
talking about to the point where if I'm texting or typing an email, I mean, pretty much a tornado could come in my backyard and I wouldn't know what would happen.
In some ways, that's a good trait.
To
be able to just get locked in.
It can be. It does piss people that actually like me off when they're trying to talk to me and I don't process what they're saying. And I ask them to repeat it 64 times to the point where my guys that work for me, like Clay's been with me for 10 years and all the way back to Alabama. He's been at Ole Miss. He's been everywhere. Clay, if he sees me pick my phone up, he will literally stop mid-sentence and just wait. He won't even finish the sentence. And then he will start the sentence like directly in the middle of it. And we have a normal conversation. Yeah. I can now remember what he said before I started, but I can't do it before.
I've gotten where I just admit it when Laura goes, do you know what we're talking about?
Nope.
I'm like, no, I don't.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You've reached that stage of marriage.
Yeah. We've reached that stage. And then that's why I always tell people it's like Thursday night or sometime Friday, she'll be like, I feel like I haven't talked to you all week. And I'm like, can we just hang out and not talk?
Hey,
I've talked all week. I don't want to talk anymore.
Hey, real quick before we get started, I just glanced over at TikTok. So last night, I'm a big country music guy, right? And I got this thing on TikTok that I like to go. I really like the singer-songwriters, people on TikTok, and it's all in my For You page. So we have a fan that listens to the show.
Okay.
And his pages, so I encourage everybody to go follow. It's Whiskey Rich Music.
Okay.
Last night, I literally cracked open the Diet Millers like I was having it's like an on concert. He was jamming. He went for hours last night singing, and he's extremely talented and can sing. And he was singing, 80s, 90s country, 2000. I mean, he was singing them all on request, playing them and singing them all.
How about that?
Really talented. So shout out to Whiskey Rich Music that's out there on TikTok. I see him in the chat over there. Very talented. Y'all go follow. He is extremely, extremely gifted.
Awesome. All right, let's roll.
Let's crank it up.
Welcome into episode 200. Episode 200 of McCready and Siskey, powered by Rain Total Body Fuel. I'm Neal McCready. That is Tyler Siskey here on this Tuesday, August the 27th. So we get ready for week 1 of college football. Still 9 days away from the NFL opener, but today's the first week that we're back to 3 days a week. We'll do this throughout the college football season, and then we'll just sort of see where things go from there. No promises, but except for we'll get you through the college football season, and we'll do it brought to you by our friends at Rain Total Body Fuel. 300 milligrams of natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. Check them out on Instagram at Rain Body Fuel to learn more. Shout out today to our buddy Bob Rucato, and if he's still at the Rogers/Bentonville office there of Monster. Hello to everyone there.
Yeah.
Good. I've not met you, but I've heard a lot about most of you. So hope you're having a wonderful day.
Yep. My guy Bob has been with us all 200 episodes too. How about that? Love Bob. He's the best. Appreciate the hell out of our relationship there. He's been awesome. So love Bob. Good people. And he's been on our show a few times.
Yeah.
And so people have got to know him. We talked the other day. We're getting some fall plans together. We're going to try to get Bob here, and then I'm going to go hang out with Bob, go see his son play. We're figuring out some.
Yeah,
fall.
Bob's son is competing for the quarterback job at Methodist University in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Yep.
Completely bounced back from a pretty tough leg injury when he was in high school.
Yeah, bad one.
And yeah, he's got a cannon on him. Made some big throws that I saw in like what appeared to be like a scrimmage or a practice or whatnot. So super excited for them. We so if you see us cheering for Methodist University,
they're the official.
You're like, what's that about? Now you know.
They're the official team of McCready and Siskey. The official. That's who we're fans of.
Methodist University.
That's it. That's the only team we pull for.
I'll pull for them.
And he pulls for Arkansas.
Of course. I mean, woo pig.
But anyway. All right, Neal, tell me about.
I still got my 2019 Arkansas Orientation Cup
Woo pig.
right here. Pulled that out. Didn't realize that's what cup it was, but there it is. The 2019 schedule, which began with Portland State. Yeah, it was exciting. Exciting times, man.
Yeah, Bob. I've already told Bob he has Bob's really hoping that I win this thing because Bob doesn't know it yet, but he has. Volunteered to go to the haunted house if I lose. He's going to be my tag team partner. He's on air with me in the haunted house. And then in the event that you go to Dega in the infield and we have our fun with you there, he will be with us there. So Bob will be participating and he'll be a sidekick.
I'm just going to tell you, I'm good with it. My wife, and not because she's worried about my physical safety. It's more because she's worried about having to pay for the reparations for my physical safety. She is very concerned about my physical well-being in the event that I'm wearing that particular shirt.
I'm not going
in that particular location.
I'm not doxing him. Okay, I'm not going to dox him.
Yep.
But we have security retainer in the chat right now.
Okay,
we're going to be good.
I just want them to know, Bob and.
I trust this guy.
Yeah.
Like I trust him with my life, kind of.
Yeah.
We're good.
There's concern about.
We got security retainer.
It's really not. It's really not about. Hey, is he going to be okay? We got stuff to pay for.
Hey, we're good.
You know,
we're good.
Yeah,
we're good. We got it taken care of. We got it taken care of. Let's go. Look, my guy says safety is no issue. We're good. I trust the guy with my life. We're good. I promise you, we're good.
Okay.
Neal, the Cooper Chevrolet chat is already bumping. And I want to remind everybody that you can go to cooperchevrolet.com. The Chevy Colorado is now starting at under $31,000. It is your final week to get super low 1.9% APR or financing up to 84 months plus no payments for 90 days. Call our friends at Cooper Chevrolet at area code 256-236-4481. That's 256-236-4481. And tell them that your favorite two ball-headed 200 episode in podcasting crew sent you. The deal ends on September the 3rd. And Neal, we got a special announcement. Got a call from Brandon last night. Brandon, who's the owner of PTG Outdoors, who is also a Camus Boats dealer, Neal.
Yeah.
They have both fresh and saltwater boats. They sell and service Mercury outboards. They do custom marine electronic installations with Garmin, Humminbird, and Low Ranch products. You can get all your fishing needs and custom golf cart retrofits where they can replace all of the batteries with a single lithium battery. They have locations in Grenada, Mississippi, and Northport, Alabama. You can go to the online store. Now, listen here. I don't care if you're on TikTok, if you're on Facebook, if you're whatever you're on listening to us right now, Twitter. You can go to PTG Outdoors. If you're an outdoor person, go to PTG Outdoors, and they can get you set up anywhere in America. Now, my guy Brandon, here we go, Neal. My guy Brandon called me last night.
Yep.
He, for 200 episodes, Neal, he is going to give away 2 free tickets to the Ole Miss Furman game, and they're good tickets. And if you would like the free tickets, it's just a giveaway. There's no like super contest. We thought about doing trivia and all that stuff it would take. So here's what we're going to do. The first person that emails McCready and Siskey at gmail.com, that's McCready and Siskey at gmail.com, and gives me your name and your email address and says PTG Outdoors on the email wins 2 free tickets. So I need your name and your email, and you got to say PTG Outdoors, and you get 2 free tickets to the Ole Miss Furman game this Saturday. So shoot that email. I'll be checking throughout the show.
Awesome.
Let's go. I love it.
Yeah.
So appreciate that. It was very nice of those guys to do that. He called last night and let me know that. So there you go.
So 200 episodes. You got any? Does that mean anything to you? Are you a big numbers person? Does that you go, hey, this is significant? Because 200 episodes is pretty significant.
Yeah, I don't really know what I was going to expect. I had no idea. 200. You know, because we do extra bonus. We do 2 a week, and we went to 3 a week last year for the first time and all that. And we take time off and all that stuff. So, yeah, I had no idea when it was coming. There was no way to really predict with me and you when it was coming. But yes, it's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'd also like to thank, one of the critical people that we have to thank in our journey is the.
You got to get us kicked off TikTok.
No,
away.
No, this is getting us this is putting us in the algorithm.
Okay.
This is totally the opposite. This puts you in the algorithm.
Okay.
I would like to thank on behalf of all of our listeners, and if you've been on our show a long time, I think we'd be remiss if we didn't mention how instrumental that the Biden-Harris 2024 campaign was to us, and it's no longer.
Right.
They now have changed, but pour one out for the homies. Pour one out for Joe. Appreciate you guys. You guys have kept us on the air through many of hard times and hard discussions. And whenever we needed it, you were like the closer in the bullpen. When we were struggling and we started looking for X's and scratches, and we said, what can we do to prevent getting kicked off the air? What did we do? We went straight to the bullpen. We called for the righty. We said Biden-Harris 2024, and everything was good.
He's a lefty.
Is he a lefty?
Lefty for sure.
All right, he's definitely a lefty. How about that? I'll call for the lefty.
There you go.
A hard throwing lefty at that, right?
Yeah.
Come out way out there, right?
Coming away from the left.
Yeah, it's just anytime we needed to go to the bullpen and to stay clear of everything, we called your number, and you never let us down.
Nope.
In 200 episodes, you haven't let us down. Now, maybe 201, you tell us to go kick rocks, but in 200, you told us
it's a safe bet.
It was a safe bet. So there we go. I'd like to thank you guys. Appreciate you. All right, Neal, let's hop into this bad boy. Got a lot of we're going to call this. I think I feel good about this. We're going to call Tuesdays Turn the Page Tuesday. That's what we're going to call it for the year.
Okay.
Turn the Page Tuesday. But I can't turn the page, Neal, without discussing this. There was a Netflix documentary that released overnight, and this is probably the last time I'm going to turn the page on this one. I'm kind of losing my deal there. Appreciate the super chat. OxyFresh. Hey, the Diet Millers for the draft show, brought to you by OxyFresh.
There you go.
Appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you, OxyFresh. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Connor Stalions documentary released overnight on Netflix.
Saw that.
I've been asked, at least with my unique past that I've had, I got asked, hey, you watched it? Nope, not going to do it. I mean, I probably will watch it. I'm just not in a hurry. I watched so many clips hit my For You page. Hey, whenever you wonder if TikTok or Twitter doesn't know who you are, boy, I was covered. My particular page was covered with Connor Stalions, right?
Yep.
But it was released today. I got to give a shout out to my man Connor. He used the best 4 words in the English language in his. They released his NCAA interviews on Zoom. I do not recall.
Yes.
Is this you in this picture? I do not recall. I do not recall. I do not recall. I do not recall. Allegedly, I do not recall. Those are the best 4 words in the English language, and it pisses everybody off.
Did you have dinner last night?
I do not recall. I do not recall. The best ever, right? So, shout out to that. But here's the deal. There's a lot of people. It's like we started back up. Okay, all right. Cole will probably clip this, and so he'll love it. This is right up Cole's alley. He's probably grinning right now. Look, breaking news to all of those that are Michigan cheated. Michigan cheated. So did your team. Every single team that they had to play. Okay.
Yep.
I'm just going to say this. This is allegedly per sources. I do not recall. Throw in all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Per sources, every single team that Michigan had to beat along the way to win that national championship, they were cheating too. They just didn't get caught. So let's just, hey, it is what it is. Can we just move on? Can we just move on? I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there was this short, back then he had hair. There was this short asshole that still occasionally gets trolled over an incident he had 10 years ago. And, you know, it's kind of like then I got trolled and I was like, hey, do we ever want to talk about what that short asshole did for your team a year ago? Do we want to bring that up? All of a sudden, that's not a big deal anymore. But there's video evidence of me doing the same thing for your team. So, you know, I always say, hey, it is what it is. Everybody cheats. Is it really cheating if everybody's cheating? I don't know. That's a question for you guys.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, let's just move on.
It's a ethics question in a
non-ethical world.
In a world that's not very ethical.
I mean, you know what I mean? I mean,
yeah,
it's like,
no, I don't know why. I told Chase Parham this morning. It's not that it disinterests me, but it doesn't interest me because I can't imagine that it's going to be all that shocking to anybody who's sort of been inside that world at all. And I've been not in it, but I've been around it pretty close for a quarter century. You're not going to be able to surprise me, right? I mean, I'm sure there's something that you would tell me. There's some story somewhere that I'd be like, really?
Have I ever told you something off air? Because I sure as the hell wasn't doing it. That shocked you?
No.
Never?
No.
Even the one stories I can't tell?
Yeah, it wasn't shocking. Just because I work in that, I've been around those people. I've worked in them. I'm not criticizing, by the way. It's kind of just. There are things that have stereotypes for a reason. It's not because every person in that field fits the stereotype because they don't at all. But there's just enough people that do that keep the stereotype alive. So no, you can't shock me with it.
Do you know what I was shocked about? All kidding aside, is that I know his 15 minutes were about up. Connor Stalions' 15 minutes were about up. The shocking part was that, I mean, you're fired. He's never getting a job in the NCAA again. Why go to the time to freaking talk to the NCAA investigators? I mean, it's not the DEA. I mean, I told him to kick rocks.
That's an interesting,
you know what I mean?
Part for him. I was like, what was in what's in it for you at this point? Yeah.
I mean, is it a 15 minutes of fame thing? I don't know, writing a book or whatever it is. But like, dude, they're not letting you back in, whether you talk to them or not. Like, there's no path forward. So why do the interview?
I think for him, it's almost like so that you can say one day later, and if this is what it is, then I kind of respect it in some ways. It's kind of his way to go later. Yeah, I didn't hide anything. I gave him the middle finger right to their face. They wanted to talk. I talked. Okay.
Yeah, the punishment's not going to change whether he interviewed with them or not. So what was the point? I don't. That's the only thing I was trying to figure out. So, yeah, we'll see.
And for the record, before anybody thinks that I'm criticizing football coaches, 90-something% of football coaches are hilarious to talk to and to be around.
Hey, my man T Guns is in the chat. He says video evidence. You mean CBS broadcast? I mean CBS, ESPN. Just pick any television broadcast that Ole Miss was on in the 2012 season and see who that guy sitting up there with a headset on in the first row was. But he gets trolled for doing it the next year, and it never was brought up. It never was brought up. It was a one-sided story. It really pissed me. Legitly, if anything pissed me off, that's what pissed me off.
Well, I'm trying to do this without outing people.
Yeah, we're not doing that. That's not what we're having this conversation for.
I was surprised it was made a big deal of, but then I wasn't surprised that it was made a big deal of.
I was really surprised. I will say this. After I became, because I was in my own insulated world, after I became aware of it, I had phone conversations and that stopped. But it already gotten, I'm like, what the are we doing?
Isn't that a weird feeling, by the way, when you're doing something and you don't realize that something's like almost kind of going viral? That happened to me, the draft night thing with Tunsil. I got back to my hotel that night and I was like, whoa. Actually, I got back up to my seat, my computer in that building, and had no idea that it was this monumental like meltdown.
I'm not going to say who it is. I don't want to do that.
I know.
So my deal when I was at Alabama, my deal was I'd already talked to him. I was like, because look, you don't. This is normal. This is completely normal. Is like when you're playing against a friend or coaching against a friend, you don't talk that week and all that stuff, right? And you'll say, "Hey, I'll see you after the game," whatever.
Because then it's over. And you can just be like, "Hey, how's the family?"
And so I don't have my phone on me during the game. I have no idea. I'm clueless. When I got done with everything, I'm talking about game was up. My plan was I was going to go to around the back of the stadium and go talk to my buddies as they're getting on the bus. And so when I came back to my phone, I had messages from people on the Ole Miss staff that say, "Hey, I don't think you should come over here. I don't think it'll be a good idea." I just assumed, I was like, well, damn, I guess they're taking the loss harder than that's what I got out of it. It's like, damn, I guess they're just upset. Okay, cool. I'm good. We'll talk later. And I went on about my day. I literally went home and I didn't realize it was a big deal until so it was a night game or whatever. I didn't realize it was a big deal. I was home. I cracked open a Diet Miller and I'm done with football. This is not a joke. When I would put my phone up.
Sure.
Nobody's calling me about a recruit at that time of night.
Right.
So I didn't even look at it and turned on SportsCenter. And there she was. I was like, oh shit. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And then, you know what I tell you the ultimate boss move was though? I know I got to get off this subject. I'm never talking about this shit ever again. I swear I'm not. The ultimate boss move. You know what Nick Saban said to me about it?
I would assume that you just were doing your job.
Not a damn thing.
Yeah.
Never even brought it up. And he went and defended me in a press conference. Never said, hey, I had to talk about, he would tease me every once in a while. Like, he went to the SEC media days and some guy from my local paper asked a question and he'd bust my balls about that. Never said a word to me, but went and defended me in a press conference.
How about that?
Boss move.
Yeah. I mean, you work for who writes the check.
Boss move. But that I respect, he didn't.
Yeah, of course. He could have just let that be nothing.
Yeah, but gotta love the guy. All right, Neal, do you know what time it is?
Well, I can tell you a couple of times that it is while you're fighting that thing over there.
I'm trying to cut my finger open.
Don't do that because if you cut your finger open, it's going to be hard to enjoy Wendy's. You've had Wendy's nugs dipped in sauce.
I'm a big saucy nug guy, Neal.
Have you had them covered in sauce? That's the question. Because Wendy's new saucy nugs takes the crispy and spicy nugs you love and turns them up to 11. Choose between flavors, Tyler, like buffalo, honey barbecue, garlic parm, or if you're a real heat seeker, like me, try spicy ghost pepper. Only on Wendy's signature spicy nugs. I dare you. That's 7 delicious ways to try the nugs you already love. Pick a flavor, grab some extra napkins, and prepare to nug like you have never nugged before. For a whole new way to nug, it's got to be Wendy's at participating U.S. Wendy's.
I'm sorry, man. I can't keep a straight face when you doing that reader. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the word nug. Like I feel I don't know
Love
what
you, Wendy's.
hey, no, it's great. It's great marketing because we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna remember it. You may be the greatest reader of that ad because I'm sure that ad's been put other places. You should like go on TV reading that ad right there.
I probably should.
They are missing out on the opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, I do. I feel I feel like I'm getting the birds and the bees talk from my parents
Yeah.
when you read that.
Nug like you've never nugged before, baby. Baby, I'm gonna nug you like you've never been nugged before.
Oh, this is great. All right. I got to refocus. All right, Neal, let's turn to page Tuesday. Turn the page Tuesday. We're going to discuss now the week 1 preview. I got them in order of games. I got the lines down too, so we can debate, talk about that, where we're leaning, what we're feeling as we go. Neal, have you had a chance to look at your lines?
Well, along those lines, let me combine a couple things here. Give you an answer with this. Life advice presented by Cole Walters, State Farm Insurance. Cole Walters is licensed in auto, home, life, health, business, and pet insurance for the whole state of Georgia. Contact Cole at 706-525-7850. You can also find him at ColeWaltersInsurance.com right there on the screen, ColeWaltersInsurance.com. And here's your life advice as we get started in a couple of days with picks. If you rely on me as a barometer for what you actually bet on, you're an idiot. And I mean that nicely, but you're an idiot. No, I haven't had a chance to look at Jack. So I spent Sunday getting content ready.
Okay.
Wrote 10 weekend thoughts.
Okay.
It was kind of an all-day deal. I spent yesterday doing a podcast, covering Kiffin's press conference. Came back here, wrote it as fast as I could. Had to have my little procedure done yesterday afternoon. Got back, had to work more. Today, I covered football. Had to write before we start with you after I did no. The answer is no. I have not. No, I have not. I feel like I'm just kind of like, I'm not sure what I feel like. Just kind of, I'll get used to the routine of it.
It's new routine, man.
But no. On these football weeks, it's like either 13 or 14 podcasts a week, and then all the writing. No, I don't. I will look at them, but there's your life advice. Now, if you use him as a barometer, probably pretty smart.
Oh, no, so you're setting me up to be trolled when I get wrong. When I get them
wrong. He watches a lot of football and knows a lot of football. Your boy, I don't necessarily know what I'm looking at, and I don't see nearly as much as he does. So there's your life advice.
Hey, right before we start this, my man T Guns and Cooper Chevrolet chat reminded me. How about this? I told you this before. How awesome was this? We got a message today.
Yep.
From an FBS staff sent me a message because they clipped Cole's clip they sent this to me, Cole's clip on the clock deal, and it said, "Hey, our staff loves your show. Y'all do a great job. You are the only real no bullshit football podcast that we've heard." And they invited us to a game, Neal. So we've been invited to a game, man. We might have to take them up on that.
Absolutely.
How about that? Thank you, guys. I'm not gonna blast you out there, but that was very cool. Thank you. Made my day.
I will say to all you guys that are, because I know there's a bunch of coaching staffs that listen to stuff. If you guys want your helmets or anything, or y'all want us to wear a jersey, send us some
gear,
stuff.
Hey, gear is awesome.
But we'll put helmets
2XL,
in here.
XL and XL. We'll take the Braves off. We'll put on whatever team. We'll rep the brand.
Yep. So we'll make that happen.
Our opinions can be purchased by gear and helmets. So, all right, here we go. Out the gate here, the Thursday games. Okay, here we go. These are the games I want to talk about. I got these things called other games at the back, so we don't have to cover them all. I'll talk about it in a minute. All right, so interesting games out the gate. We got North Carolina is a 2-point favorite heading to Minnesota. The total is at 50.5. Here's my thoughts on this preview, this game right here. I'm all in. I think North Carolina has done a really good job in the recruiting and talent acquisition space.
Yeah.
And really, I think they have a better, if you take out the quarterback position, I think they are better at the other 21 spots. I think they've done a really good job of getting, so they have a better team surrounding the quarterback than Drake May did. So you got Max Johnson and Nate Harrell are probably going to be guys. They're both probably going to play, I imagine. Harrell's the quarterback from Thompson a few years ago that went to North Carolina high school. He's a really good player, has spent time there, has developed. I'm interested to see both of those guys play. Max Johnson, the transfer from Texas A&M. Minnesota's looking for a fresh start here. You got new quarterback. I'm interested. This is a game that I'm going to be watching the total on. I'm not betting the total. We talked about unders with the clock and all that stuff, but you got a team in Minnesota that's going to try to run the ball and try to shorten the game. But I also think North Carolina's going to try to run the ball.
Well, you know who North Carolina has coordinating its defense?
I do. The man, the myth, the legend, Jeffrey Collins.
I mean, I don't know that Minnesota's – forget points. I'm talking about yards.
And so I'm leaning –
I'm going Tar Heels playing the 2.
I'm probably – if I'm doing anything, I'm taking North Carolina -2 in this game. I think they do win. If you look at North Carolina's schedule, they're a team that doesn't get talked about enough. Neal, their schedule is an extremely friendly ACC schedule. Like, they can get to 10 wins in the ACC.
Yeah.
Easily.
You know, Fleck's done a really good job at Minnesota, too, making them sound of a kind of a consistent program. I do – it's a big game for them to get it at home with UNC.
And first out the gate. So
is this a Thursday night game?
Mm-hmm, Thursday night.
Okay.
It's 6 or 7 o'clock. I think this may be I don't know what network. Maybe Fox. I can't remember.
I think you're right.
All right. Second game, also Thursday night. North Dakota State is traveling to Colorado. I spent some time on this game. I felt, obviously I know where I'm at with Colorado.
Shocking.
Yeah, I felt some time with this. We may have a visitor. We may have a special guest on Thursday. Just giving y'all a heads up. May have a special guest join us.
We're big in North Dakota.
We're big in North Dakota.
Yeah.
We're big.
Not so big in Colorado.
Yeah, they kind of when you cross the state lines, except for Colorado State, Fort Collins. People in Fort Collins like us.
They do like us. Good.
But in Boulder area, not so much. When you cross the city limits of Boulder, not so much.
Where's the Colorado State game this year?
It's in Fort Collins.
Oh, when is that?
How quick you climb. We can probably make that one happen.
That would be interesting.
That would be a trip.
Sign me up. Boy.
You could do the whole live stream with the Joker mask on, the entire live stream.
You'd be the one needing security that night.
No doubt. Colorado is favored by 10. All right. And the total is at 60.5. North Dakota State's got to replace some offensive line stuff. They had what you would call a down year last year. They went 11-4. They did go to the semifinals. But they've had a coaching change. They got in the Wyoming OC last year, is now the new head coach, who he was the OC at North Dakota State when they were rolling in the 2010s. So he's back as head coach. So here's my deal with this.
September 14th.
Oh, so it's early. I'm leaning total here more than I am spread. I don't know why. This is definitely upset alert. I know North Dakota State's going to try to shorten this game with the new clock rules and all that stuff. They have to. That's what they're going to do. Defensive line-wise, North Dakota State's got a lot of guys coming back. I think they're going to be really good at the FCS level. How does that translate over? But here's the thing. Here's the key to this game. If North Dakota State can control the time of possession, because last year, Colorado was damn near DFL in every defensive category. And so if North Dakota State can control the line of scrimmage and move, but they've had to replace a lot of parts up front at an FCS level.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be the trick. We're kind of like, it's not the traditional North Dakota State. You can't just roll out and say, oh, yeah, that team from last year, because they don't have the team from last year. So offensive line-wise, can they control the line of scrimmage enough to keep the ball control? That's going to be the name of the game. I'm leaning total here more than I am spread because I feel like if I was going to take North Dakota in the points, I'd just take the money line. I'd just go all the way with it. All right, the last Thursday game that we're in is Coastal Carolina is taking on our Fighting Rich Rods, going to Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State's favored by 2.5 at home. In this game, this is the first game, it feels like, in the last 97 years without Grayson McCall at quarterback at Coastal Carolina.
This is kind of a McCready game here. I love the guys at Jack State.
Yep.
Rich Rod. And the chancellor at Coastal Carolina is a friend of mine, Michael
How
Benson.
about that?
Yep.
So, but this is the first game literally since the Reagan administration that Grayson McCall hasn't played quarterback.
That's true. The last time he didn't play quarterback, it was just $8.99 a month at Rival.
So,
wait, hold on. I have a correction. Hold on.
Oh.
Yes? It was still $9. It was the same price.
Same price.
Same price. Unbelievable.
But, obviously Grayson is now at NC State. I like if I did anything on the line, I would take Jacksonville State minus the 2.5. I'm all in on Rich Rod year 2. With his guys getting his system in, I think they'll be more explosive on offense, schematic wise, and all that stuff. I'm in. Here's where I'm more leaning on this game is the total. The total's at 55.5. Last year, without the clock rules, they only scored 46 combined. So I'm probably leaning more total at under 55.5 on this one. But I think I would actually probably even lean parlay with this one with Jacksonville State minus 2.5 and the under at 55.5 on that. All right, bumping to Saturday, getting the games everybody wants to talk about. Here we go. The Clemson Tigers are taking on the University of Georgia. Clemson is a 13.5-point dog to the Dogs. The total is at 48.5, really low. So that one right there, that set off like red flags. I'm staying away from that. When it goes that low, I'm staying way away from that. They're obviously expecting a low-scoring game. Here's where I'm at with this game. I think the line's right, Neal. I think the line's right on this one.
Okay.
It's at 13.5. I've said from the jump, we've been talking about these games coming up. Like, I got a weird feeling like this is a really close game late, like a one-possession game, and Georgia gets one late to make it a 2-score game. Now, is that 2 scores 10 points or is it 14 points? So I'm going to stay away from that. But I do think this is a close game. I think this is a 4-quarter game. If you are a Clemson fan, look, I've said this, and I'll keep saying it, and I'll keep saying, we can talk about having a good year. We can talk about all the stuff. If you want to win a championship, you have to get elite play from your quarterback position.
Mm-hmm.
All right? In this game, I feel that you're going to get more. Let's say the other 21 positions are equal, which I don't think they are, but let's say they are. All right, you still got to look. It's which quarterback has the chance to give you an elite performance? Is it Carson Beck or is it Cade Klubnik?
It's Beck.
Okay, so that's why I'm going more that direction. If you want to win championships, you have to have an elite quarterback. Didn't have to be an elite pro quarterback, but he has to have has to be a good college quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, for Clemson, I still think Clemson's a 10-2 team that they get in. I think they get into the playoffs. But at the same time, if you want to take that next step as a program, I think you have to get elite quarterback play from Cade Klubnik. Now, he's talented. He just hasn't shown it yet. He hasn't really turned into the elite guy.
Right.
And I think that's what makes an elite. I think that's what makes championship teams is having elite quarterbacks. So, at the end of the day, the interesting thing is my man Matt Luke coming out of retirement to coach his first game at Clemson against his old team, the Georgia Bulldogs. So
that's got to be a weird.
It's got to be weird. Yeah, I actually hadn't talked to him about it. I'm gonna try to go see them one game at some point in time this season. But anyway, that's interesting. So there's not gonna be any surprises of what's going on both sides of the ball. Matt will know what's coming, and vice versa. So that will be interesting. But I'm staying away from this game totally. The total, the 48.5 scares me. The 13.5 scares me. I kind of think it's right. I'm not touching that one. All right, Neal. A game I am touching, Neal. A game I am touching at the same time. Penn State -8, taking on Country Roads, West Virginia.
Yeah, Morgantown, baby. That'd be interesting.
51.5 total. I can tell you this: Neal Brown likes his team.
Yeah,
Neal Brown likes his team.
He's a good coach. Neal
Brown likes his team, and when Neal Brown likes his team, it usually means they got a damn good team. It's scary. I've coached in the Sun Belt against him 1,006 years. All right, even before the Reagan administration. When Neal Brown likes his team, watch out.
Okay.
He likes his team. They're playing now. Here's the other side of it. I think I'm getting.
I was gonna say because I think James Franklin likes his team.
I'm getting a little bullish on Penn State the closer we get to the season. We got our good friend Tom Allen as defensive coordinator. Bringing over Andy from Kansas. I think he's one of the most underrated offensive coordinators in the business. He's got Drew Allar, right, as quarterback. Is it Aller or Allar? How are we pronouncing his name?
Drew Aller.
Aller, how are we pronouncing his name? He's kind of that Cade Klubnik thing with me, right? Like he has ability. I know I get what everybody says about him. But for me as a coach, he has ability, but he has to take that ability to the next step if he wants to get Penn State where they want to go. I think the defense is going to be really good for Penn State. I think they have 10 really good players besides the quarterback, and he is a talented dude, but he has to elevate his performance if he wants to get Penn State to the promised land. And if he does, that's the scary thing about Penn State, is if he can elevate his performance, they're going to be there come December. They're going to be there. I'm probably damn near, it's going to be a wager I'm probably going to make. I'll let y'all know on Thursday, but I like West Virginia plus the points in this game at home. Give me 2 scores. That leaves me all kinds of outs. I mean, even if it's a 14-point game and we get one late, whatever it is, I like West Virginia plus 8 at home. And it's arguably one of the biggest home games they've had in a long, long time with expectations. And everything.
Has to be. Probably since the Rich Rod era.
Yeah. So that place will be rocking. So give me that. And helmet communication week 1. All right, Neal. The Virginia Tech Hokies are traveling to Nashville.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking on the Vanderbilt Commodores.
My guy, Clark Lee.
This line's moved a half a point in the direction I was surprised in. It's down to 13 at Vandy. Neal, guess what?
It's not enough.
It's not enough.
Nope.
Like I'm probably betting that one personally, whether I do it on the show or not. Virginia Tech, I'm bullish on Virginia Tech too. They got all these starters coming back. They got the most starters coming back of anybody in the FBS. Vandy's Vandy. Okay. Now, the one thing I'm curious, real talk with Vandy is adding Jerry Kill. I think he's a legend.
Sure.
He will help. And I've said this, and I want to say this too. This drives me nuts. There's a lot of talk about, well, will they get rid of Clark Lee if he doesn't have a good – for what?
Agreed.
For what?
I mean, who are you hiring?
Like, it doesn't matter.
Right. What are you doing?
I'm being dead serious when I say this. They could bring Nick Saban out of retirement and give him exactly what Clark Lee is giving, and you're not going to get any different results.
Nope.
I mean, I don't mean to. I'm being real.
No, it is what it is.
Bill Belichick could take the job at Vanderbilt tomorrow, and if you give Bill Belichick
he would actually do worse than Clark Lee.
But if you give Bill Belichick the same resources and the same admission standards that Vandy has, you're going to get the same results. This isn't a Clark Lee problem. This is a Vanderbilt problem, and it's not a Vanderbilt athletic department problem. It's a Vanderbilt University problem.
Yes.
And so,
yeah, 100%.
Like. They got
I mean,
great coaches. Those guys can coach ball, man. They can.
Of course. I mean, Clark Lee was the defensive coordinator at Notre Dame. You don't typically get to that spot
without not knowing your shit.
Without being fairly good. I mean, he worked for Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly typically wins, hires good coaches.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's the whole thing is silly. I mean, I've heard that from people where they're like, what do you think's going to happen at Vanderbilt? I'm like, oh, are you serious? I mean, for what? What are you doing? I mean,
you're literally just burning money.
You're just burning money. He's going to land in another job right away. You're going to have to pay him to go away, and then you got to pay somebody else, and then you got to go through the whole song and dance again and start your program over. And in 3 or 4 years, he's going to look up and go, well, you see, I can't say this out loud, but the problem is.
Yeah, everybody, they don't talk about the problem. The problem has nothing to do with the coaches in there. It's like, why did James Franklin win there? Because he had different admission standards. I mean, and what happened when James Franklin didn't have these same admission standards? Oh, he won. I mean, This isn't hard. It's almost like if you have good players, it matters. It's almost like that.
Well, I don't know about that.
All right, Neal, South Dakota State. Dakota State. I will be watching this game. South Dakota State, the two-time defending FCS champions.
Yeah, Oklahoma State's beginning of their schedule, like they're kind of playing with some fire, aren't they?
It's almost like the Arkansas AD left to go to did the scheduling for the Oklahoma State guy too.
South Dakota State and Arkansas to open the season. Now those are two games they could win, and probably should win.
But there's different ways you go about it.
Like you are playing with some fire.
There's other options. There's other options. But look, let's do this. Let's go. Here's the deal:
I'd rather play Arkansas than I would South Dakota State because you really playing with fire.
Who is this? I think this was Matt Rule, and if it wasn't, please forgive me. I can't remember who it was. I heard somebody say the other day was when they went on their interview. They said something about it was on the interview. It's like, I don't care who we play, as long as it doesn't have Dakota in the name. I think that was a Matt Rule thing I heard the other day.
Funny.
I don't remember. But so South Dakota State hasn't lost a game, Neal, since the start of the 2022 season when they lost the opener to your Iowa Hawkeyes 7-3.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember that game.
All right, they're going to Oklahoma State. The line is at 10. All right, and I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, this is kind of where I'm at with this game.
I would hope you'd be honest with me. I mean, we've been,
Yes,
been together for 200 shows now. We've known each other before that.
And
I mean, why would you just sit and lie to me?
I hate when people say that. All right, and so here's where we're at. We're talking about Oklahoma State being a Big 12 conference contender, right? I think everybody has them 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you're a title contender for your league, you're also considered a college football playoff contender.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that fair?
Yeah.
Okay. If Oklahoma State does not cover this game, I don't care if they just won 2 back-to-back national championships. If you can't beat an FCS team by more than 10 points, I don't want to talk about it anymore for the college football playoff. We're out. I don't want to talk about it anymore. The level of athlete should be completely different. If we're talking about you going to the college football playoff, and I don't give a shit if you won 79,000 games in a row in the FCS.
That's a big week 1 overreaction, though.
I'm telling you, that's going to be my overreaction.
Okay,
I've already made my mind up before the game.
I'm going to tell you if that happens. I'm going to say I think you might be overreacting.
No, if we're going to have a serious conversation about you winning the Big 12 and going to the college football playoff, and you can't beat an FCS team by more than 10 points, and look, you should not. There shouldn't be any problem overlooking this FCS team. All right, they haven't lost a game since the opening game, so they've won 29 games in a row. Okay, so it's not like, hey guys, this team's pretty good. They know, so you should be ready to play.
Mm-hmm.
There should not be any sleepy. You should be ready to go. If you can't answer the bell and beat this team by more than 10 points, we probably don't need to be having a conversation about you going to the playoffs.
Okay,
that's just, and I'm the one picking them to win the Big 12, so I'm trying to spurn them on. Get your ass up and let's get going, and let's go win this damn thing by 17, 21 points and get ready for the next one. Let's get ready for the Hogs, okay?
Yeah.
But don't save me if you come in here. If we come in here on Monday and they won 14-13, I'm done.
All right. Okay.
All right, here we go. All right, probably the most miserable I'm going to be for the whole weekend. The Miami Hurricanes are 2.5-point favorites at the Gators. I'm not picking the game. I've said this for 1,000 times. I'm going to be miserable. I have friends, good friends, that are head coaches of both teams, and both head coaches need the win for their respective.
Mario Cristobal
and Bill Napier. They both need to. I mean, whoever loses this game, their fan base will be upside down.
Am I crazy to kind of like the Gators here?
I don't think so. I'm picking Miami to win the ACC.
I kind of like the Gators here.
But I like Billy's team. And
I don't know that this is going to be one of my picks, but I kind of like the Gators here.
I like Billy's team. I like Mario's team. You got Cam Ward. You got a great quarterback game here. You got Cam Ward that's going to be playing quarterback the whole time for Miami.
Yeah.
You got Graham Mertz, and then you're going to see DJ Lagway. I firmly believe you'll have a package in this game for DJ Lagway. And I think and he's immensely talented. He's no question. He's the guy for the future for the Gators.
If he's smart, he's playing him some. He's for a lot of reasons. Development, PR. Because you got to show him. Because if you're going to have a mediocre season from a record standpoint, you've got to have hope. And in this era of transfer portal, you can't go, well, we could fire the coach, bring in no, he's going to leave. And he'd have 50 offers within 10 minutes.
Right. I just I'm just going to be in pain watching this game, to be honest with you. I'm just going to be I will be miserable watching this game. So I think it's a very evenly matched game. I think they both, Miami is all in. They have a very expensive roster. And Florida's not far behind, but it's at the Swamp. It'll be interesting rivalry, the whole deal. We get ready to go.
Yep.
All right, Neal. I had to put this in here. This is my upset alert.
Oh.
Upset alert.
Upset alert.
Week 1, upset alert. Woo, woo, woo. Upset alert.
Well, and from a weather standpoint, this game's got weird meltdown.
Upset alert.
All over it. Because it's hot.
I don't know if this is going to be my money line or not, Neal. I'm just saying. Humid. Just saying this will be on my card somewhere or another.
The temperature in Boise is right now.
Well, the Boise State Cowboys are traveling to Statesboro, Georgia to take on the Georgia Southern Eagles. Boise State is favored by 13 points. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
In case you don't know, Statesboro, Georgia, playing there is one of the most difficult Group of 5 environments on the planet.
It's hot in Boise right now. It's 92, but at night it's going to get down to 50 tonight.
Okay, what's that humidity right now in Boise, Idaho? Out of curiosity.
I'm looking.
Because I guarantee you they practicing outside today.
I'm sorry. It's 87 right now. Feels like 87.
So 0.
So not particularly brutal.
Click when you get done. Click that Statesboro. See what we're doing in Statesboro right now.
States.
Oh, by the way, did I mention it's a 3 o'clock game? So this is it's 2:50 right now. So this game's being played at 3. So this is exactly what it'll be right now. Kick.
Statesboro. The high on Saturday. Is it when Saturday?
Yes, Saturday, 3 o'clock.
Is 93.
What's it feel like right now?
Let's see. At this very moment in Statesboro, I'm glad that I'm here to help you. At
my weatherman, Neal.
At this very moment, it is. Don't give me a commercial right now. Damn it.
Don't you know we're doing a show?
Don't you know I'm doing a show? I'm not buying a Huffy upgraded commercial ice maker right this moment.
Not a sponsor, but you can be.
But you can be. Right now, it is 91.
Feels like.
And it doesn't say what it feels like.
Because it's probably off the damn radar.
Because it's hot.
I'm all in on this one right here. This is my upset alert special right here.
Okay.
The weather is a real deal. We did this to teams like, I'm telling you, I've told you this privately. I'm 100% convinced that the reason we beat San Diego State, they had been on that long win streak. The reason we beat San Diego State at South Alabama was we brought their ass down the Lad, put them on the turf in the freaking middle of the day. They were done.
Oh,
they were done.
Look,
they had won they were like the 13th ranked team in America, and we didn't just beat them. We ran inside and outside zone through their ass. Like they couldn't. They were zapped. They could not stop us.
Well, I mean, no joke. People talk about this. I mean, you can live down here in this stuff. You can train in this stuff and still get zapped.
Yeah.
And if you didn't live down here in it and you haven't trained in it, you can't handle it.
No, it's
not about being soft or when people go, those Yankees or whatever, or those people, no, it's not it. It's just if you're not acclimated to heat and that kind of heat, and suddenly you're in that kind of heat, dude.
Yeah, it's Randall Boyd in the Cooper Chevrolet chat said it's 91 feels like 98 in Statesboro. So you got and your own turf.
Wearing pads.
And your own turf. So
I kind of like that one. I don't hate Georgia Southern plus the points.
So I'm keying on that one. All right, Old Dominion is at South Carolina. It's 21. The only thing to watch here is I'm curious with South Carolina. This is they should be fine. They probably will cover. They have a lot of new additions. My curiosity here is Lenore Sellers at quarterback.
Yeah, for sure.
I have not seen him play. I have heard people who I trust that I would consider the real quarterback gurus on the planet that just rave about this kid.
Yeah.
I had one that I really, really trust that said this guy's the real deal, and I just want to see it. I haven't seen him, and I will watch this game because I just want to watch him play.
Well, it's that thing, right, where some SEC team. I don't know who. Maybe it's South Carolina. Maybe it's Kentucky. Maybe it's, I don't know, Mississippi State. I don't know. Somebody is going to be significantly better than we all thought they would be. It's just going to happen.
Yep.
It happens every year.
Yep.
Somebody is going to be a lot better than we thought they were going to be, and South Carolina is one of those candidates.
I don't think they can be that unless he's playing elite. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And that's why I'm curious. I'm with you. If he is good, then, hey, they may be that team. You know what I mean?
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. What's something you'd love to learn as an adult? Do you make time to learn new things as often as you'd like, or was that lost in childhood? Kids are always learning and growing, but as adults, sometimes we lose that curiosity. What's something you'd like to learn? Gardening, a new language, maybe finally how to beat your best friend in bowling. Therapy can help you reconnect with your sense of wonder because back-to-school era can come at any age. I've benefited personally from therapy. It's helpful for learning positive coping skills, how to set boundaries. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. It isn't just for those who've experienced major trauma. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suitable to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapist anytime for no additional charge. Rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/MPW today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/MPW.
All right, Neal. The Western Kentucky Hilltoppers are traveling to Tuscaloosa to take on the Fighting Cane Womacs and the Alabama Crimson Tide.
And a lot of people think Western Kentucky's going to be pretty good.
Alabama's favored by 31.5. Total is 59.5. I'm not touching the line. Interesting thing here is that Kane, you will not have to get Kane to worry about this game because Kane,
he's familiar with Western Kentucky.
He's very familiar with Tyson Helton in Western Kentucky. They played him in a bowl game 2 years ago.
Kane's gonna have a little.
Kane's gonna be a little extra motivated.
His weaponry is going to be a little more refined.
He's not going to be showing up to a gunfight with a spoon. He will be fully locked and loaded. I imagine he will have he will be highly motivated in this game.
Sure.
For many reasons. Not that he would not be motivated anyway, but I sometimes as coaches you're like, hey, I got some weapons now too, and you kind of may want to stick an extra one like on offense. Hey, I got some toys now too. I may or may not over my career when I finally got some weapons on somebody that didn't return the favor the other way. I may or may not have stuck one or two extra ones in. That will never be used against me on a meme. But
that's what she said.
That's what she said. All right, but he's got some toys to play with now. So I think Western Kentucky. Here's the thing: TJ Finley named the starting quarterback in his 83rd year of playing quarterback in college football.
Yeah.
Is the starting quarterback for Western.
Well, he's
Kentucky.
at Western Kentucky because he ran out of SEC schools to play at.
He went from all right. Check this out: LSU to Auburn to Texas State, now to Western Kentucky.
Yeah, the transfer rule's fine.
Yeah, hey, it's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good. He's had more teams than Desmond Ritter. By the way, I meant to talk about NFL stuff. We'll talk about it some other time. We got time. It's college football time. But as far as covering and all that, I don't know. I'm mixed emotions here. I know Kane's going to be motivated, so I think he'll do his job.
Well, it's a big day for Kalen DeBoer.
Does Kalen DeBoer try to come out and fire it up and go put 65 on the board if he can? Or does he – like this line right here was the worst line ever with Coach Saban because if he got up 35-0, he was going to shut it down. What does Kalen DeBoer do in his debut with the Crimson Tide? Does he try to score 59-60, or does he want to run the offense, get game reps with Milton? I'm
I don't
interested.
know. Well, and look, the Hilltoppers might have something to say about it. Not winning the game, but they have a good team.
I think they will on offense. I think offensively they have a good team. Defensively, I don't know if they're going to be able to keep pace. But offensively, they give you problems enough to where they're going to move the ball now. I want to say that Alabama fans don't have a freaking conniption fit when the Hilltoppers are moving the ball down the field. They have a phenomenal offensive scheme. They have a phenomenal coach, and they got some guys that can move it. Now, it would make me feel better as an Alabama fan knowing TJ Finley's on the other side because I don't think he's a dude. I don't think he's as good as the quarterback they just lost. So I don't think he's a pure enough passer.
All right. So what I hear from you is you kind of like Alabama minus the 31.5.
If I was betting, I'm not betting it, but that's where I don't like big lines. All right, UNLV at Houston real quick. Houston's minus 1.5. I'm just interested in this game. It's Willie Fritz's first game at Houston, and it's Barry Odom's year 2. Barry Odom's done a hell of a job. Barry Odom's going to get another job.
Yeah, he's on some radars.
Like I've said this, I've always said I thought Barry Odom was good at Missouri, and I know he had years on. Barry Odom's a freaking ball coach, and he's proven it. And I'll be watching the game because I just think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, Odom's name is on some radars now. He's one to watch.
Good people. All right. As a Troy Trojan fan, as an alumni of the Troy Trojans, going to briefly mention this. They're favored at 8.5 at home against the Nevada Wolfpack. This game scares the shit out of me as a Troy fan. This game scares the shit out of me.
Okay.
Because Nevada looked good. We talk about SMU didn't play well. Nevada was contributing to that. They looked good. They had a whole new team out there. They played hard. And then you worry about it's week 2 for them, but it's week 1 for Troy. So all of the week, your team's improved. It is a coach speak, but it is true. Most teams improve from week 1 to week 2. This scares me as a Troy fan. Now, humidity in Troy on the skillet. Let's go. You have those things your advantage, but 8.5 is a big number. This one scares me as a Troy Trojan. This one's got me worried. I'm not betting it because I will never go against my "We are the school we love. We're Trojans, one and all. Always cheer for victory. You'll never let us fall. Go fight, win." But yeah, this one worries me. All right, Notre Dame at Texas A&M. Neal, 3-point favorites. The Texas A&M Aggies are carrying a 3-point favorites against Notre Dame at home. I know you've actually looked at this game.
I have a lot.
Give my thoughts and you on top of it. The thing I'm looking at here, I think Notre Dame, come on, Riley Leonard making his first start at Notre Dame. He's coming into College Station. It will be loud. I'm interested in the helmet communication in that environment. Notre Dame has lost their All-American first-round left tackle in the preseason to a torn pec. I think that will have a issue there. Texas A&M, shocker, still has dudes. Now they got Elko. They have a great staff there. I'm definitely leaning Texas A&M and laying the points on this one. I think Texas A&M may even run away with this one. I like Texas A&M in this game. What do you got?
This is my game of the week, I think. I hate that I'm agreeing with you because I'm jinxing your luck here, but
no, it's okay.
I love the Aggies here. I really do. I think they're going to be – I think A&M is – I like the Elko versus Freeman matchup. I like Wegman. Does good things. They get to go into this season kind of fresh, no distractions, none of that. I like the Aggies here.
Yeah.
And you get the heat element of this too.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty damn muggy in what is basically Houston on Saturday night.
Do you know what's weird, though? Is when they closed that stadium up, it changed. Like, every time I went back after they did the renovations, I don't know if that had anything to do with, like, airflow or whatever it was. It got actually cooler. But I've been – dude, that game we played, what was the year was that? That was 20 – it was a 2:30 – we played a 2:30 CBS game second week of the season. That would have been 14. I can't remember. No, maybe it was 13. I don't remember. Whenever Vinny Sinceri ran back had a long interception return, and we beat them by 14. Dude, that was one of the hottest games ever. But when they closed it up, every time I went back there, it wasn't as hot. So I don't know what the deal was. But it's going to be loud, but it's not even like it gets loud there, but it's not as loud. I'm just interested in the helmet communication there. You already have headset issues there. Anyway, but I imagine the sideline communication, I'm all in to see how that works in that game. All right, Neal, last two games before we get to the others. Southern Miss is at Kentucky. Kentucky's favored by 28. It's 50.5-point total. I like the total in this game. I'm leaning, taking the under. I think Kentucky's defense is going to basically I don't think Southern Miss will score that many points. And I think Mark Stoops they're always going to be ball controlled the way they do things. They run pro style. They already huddle and shit. So I think I like considering the new clock rules, 50.5 is a lot of points. So that's one I'm kind of circling right there and peeking at for, or make it rain Thursday. In Kentucky, I want to watch them play. I'm everywhere on Kentucky. I can get you. One day I can look at the schedule and say they're 6-6. One day I can look at the schedule, I can say they're 9-3, and everything in between. I want to see Brock Vandergrift get real reps in a game and play a game. He's a talented guy, but with not a lot of experience. So I'm high on him, but I want to see it in the game. All right, Neal, last game we're going to talk about of meaning for week 1, USC taking on LSU in Vegas.
It's a Sunday night game.
Sunday
very
night
interested in this one.
NFL / the faux NFL game that's taking place in the NFL stadium on Sunday night.
Well, this is where it's smart for the college game to put a game on Sunday night, the one weekend before the NFL takes over with the Sunday night NFL game of the week. I actually love this game. I think LSU is going to absolutely curb stomp USC. I think LSU learned something. I think LSU learned something from last season. I think they're going to be really, really ready to play in the opener. They weren't ready to play last year.
Last 2 years.
But I think you'll see a difference this time.
All right, so interesting thing here. One, y'all know how much I like Brian Kelly as a head coach. I think he's the real deal. LSU is going to have a major advantage up front, offensive line versus defense. I've said this about LSU. I think regardless of what happens, I think Brian Kelly can do whatever he wants to do with us in the passing game, and he can always go back to the run. They're going to be very balanced, obviously, but they're really good up front. And this is such a unique game because I think both teams were on similar paths to get to where they want to go. All right. Because we're all talking about playoffs here, right?
Right.
Both teams really struggled on defense last year. And we got to and when you look at total defense numbers and all that stuff, you got to take that one away from being in the hundreds. And like if you're an LSU fan, obviously we're a big SEC show, right? We got most people in the Southeastern listen to us, right? If LSU can be an average defense, they don't need to be great. They don't need to be top 10. If LSU can go to like in the 60s, like if you told me right now, hey, Tyler, at the end of the year, the football guys came down and told you that LSU's going to be ranked 66th in total defense. I said, oh, they made the playoffs. I immediately say that.
Ooh.
If you said they're top six, last year they were in the hundreds.
If you told me 66, I would think they were right on the cusp. Now, if you told me they were like 50, I'd go, oh, God, they made it.
Well, you got to think they were 9-3 last year.
I know.
And
one of those games
in the
was
100s.
the crazy game at Ole Miss, yeah.
And they had the Missouri, like they had some games.
Okay, it's where you do the last year thing. Not you, but people do it. Yeah, they could have easily won in Oxford. But, yeah, they could have easily lost in Columbia.
Missouri,
Yeah. Yeah, they could have easily won in Oxford. Look, Arkansas had them on the ropes in Baton Rouge. I just think usually that stuff works its way out. And so they were a 9-3 team for a reason because offensively they were elite and defensively they were bad. This year, I don't think they're going to be as elite offensively, although they're really good up front. Really good up front. More than just Campbell. And then defensively, I think they're going to be better. The question's, like you said, how much better? So I think if you told me 60-something, I'd go, they went 9-3 again.
Yeah, Doors Rules, great point in the chat. He says, but they lost 2 first-round wide receivers and a Heisman quarterback. That is true.
They did.
But the guys that are replacing them.
This kid at quarterback's good now.
Yeah, like, again.
He's not Jaden Daniels.
He's not Jaden Daniels, but there's not, like, it's not the Jordan Travis DJ fall off, if that makes sense, Doors.
Right.
And it's the same thing a receiver. It's not. You're not going from, an elite guy to a guy that can't play. Are they those level guys? Probably not, but they're not. It's not a giant drop off to where they can't be productive. And the thing that's kind of a bailout from an offensive standpoint, brother, when I can line up and run the football, I got a chance. I don't give a shit who's playing quarterback or receiver. If I can line up and run the football and you're going to be able to do it in this game, I got a chance against anybody. And that's where it's going to be for me. I'm taking LSU in this game. The 4.5 kind of scares me. I love the total at 64.5 here. I said at the beginning of the year I was going to take the over, but after I saw the new clock rules, 64.5 is a lot of points in this game. I'm actually will probably lean under in this game. I'm going to see that's a Sunday night game. So before I place this wager, I'm probably going to check out a couple of games to make sure we're staying consistent with this deal. But I think LSU covers the 4.5.
I do too. I do too. I actually kind of love LSU in this one, like I said. I actually, most of my favorite games this week are SEC games. I really kind of like Florida. I really kind of like Alabama laying those points. I just have a feeling.
Yep.
Kind of love the Aggies. I hate it because that's so trendy, and I feel like I'm just jumping on the trend, and then I love LSU.
Yeah, no, that's good picks. All right, Neal, these are, since we're an SEC show and we got a lot of fans in here, especially on TikTok, and SEC usually gets the most traction. These are the other SEC games. I'm going to put this in a big other category, and I'll explain why they're other. All right, this is Arkansas Pine Bluff at Arkansas.
We're going to kill them. I'm sorry. It was whoops. That slipped out. That slipped. I know it slips out.
I almost thought you said woo pig instead of we.
I mean, I kind of.
Woo pig are going to kill them.
I walk around all day just going woo pig. People like, what are you doing? Like, someone I was out walking the other day, and someone goes, "Are you talking to yourself?" And I was like, "No, man, I'm just calling the hogs. I mean, that's what I do all day long, every day."
Excuse me. You got Missouri. Missouri.
Is ULM a Quick U client?
ULM?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
Because that new black uniform.
Oh,
is spectacular.
Dude, my man Vincent, he's on he has the threads. He's a uni guy. He's a threads guy.
Is Arkansas a client yet?
I gotta talk to you after this. Close.
Okay.
We're working on it. Murray State at Missouri. Murray State at Missouri. We'll put that in there. My man, making his debut as the head coach there. Temple at Jody Wright, who is I'm sitting here doing a podcast. The guy that replaced me and doing my job at Alabama was the head coach at Murray State. So
Yeah.
he's making his head coaching debut at Murray State, taking on Eli, the fighting Drinkowitz, Missouri. Temple at Oklahoma. Tennessee, Chattanooga at Tennessee. Eastern Kentucky at Mississippi State. Furman at Ole Miss. And Alabama A&M at Auburn. Okay, all of you guys, every team, every SEC fan base, you fall under this category. And this is what that category is. All right? These games are about you. Okay? It's not about the opponent you're playing. It's about you.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what you're looking for. Play clean, disciplined football. Don't worry about the scoreboard. Play clean, disciplined football. Hey, fit the run correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Block the right guys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when they show you a front or a blitz you haven't seen, go to the sideline, make an adjustment, and then pick it up the next drive. Play clean, disciplined football. Okay, here's what you should expect from your team. Any of those teams. So it's Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, and Auburn. At some point in that game, it may not be the first drive. So if your team goes out there and goes 3 and out, don't just start turning the TV off and throw your remote through your TV. At some point during that game, your team, you should expect this, to at some point find a rhythm and execute the offense or defensive game plan and dominate the opponent. It may be in the first quarter. It may be over by the end of the first quarter. It may be the second quarter. But don't just start melting down the servers on your local message board because you went 3 and out and had to punt in the first drive. It will be okay. Go to your happy place. So if you're an Arkansas fan, a Missouri fan, an Oklahoma fan, Tennessee fan, Mississippi State fan, Ole Miss fan, or Auburn fan, pump the brakes, relax. That's what you're looking for from your team.
Okay.
That was my PSA to all the fan bases. That
was your life advice.
That was my life advice. Brought to you by Cole Walters, Neal.
Yeah. Cole gets because we failed to mention Cole yesterday, so he gets kind of a double.
Got a double hit today.
Double dose today.
A double dose hit today, my friend. Whoa! Before we go,
yeah,
we got to pick out the winner of the two
tickets.
Free tickets. The 2 free tickets. The first person, we got blasted with emails too. We had 5 with the same minute, but they show up in the order.
Yeah.
The winner of the 2 free tickets, and what I will do is I will send your information to our guy Brandon at PTG Outdoors. The winner of the 2 free tickets to the Ole Miss Furman game on Saturday is John Ashton Hicks.
Let's go, John Ashton Hicks.
John Ashton Hicks is the winner. He wasted no time. He was in there. I don't know if I even got it out of my mouth good enough. He wasted no time. You were the first one in. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, John. I will get your information over to Brandon at PTG Outdoors. And let me remind you, John, and all of you fans listening, let me remind you about PTG Outdoors, Neal. PTG Outdoors is a Camus boat dealer. They have both fresh and saltwater boats. They sell and service Mercury outboards, do custom marine electronic installations with Garmin, Humminbird, and Low Ranch products. You can get all of your fishing needs in custom golf cart retrofits where they replace all of the batteries with a single lithium battery. They have locations in Grenada, Mississippi, and Northport, Alabama. And most importantly, doesn't matter if you're on TikTok, if you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, it doesn't matter. Make sure you go to ptgoutdoors.com and get all of your outdoor needs.
We've been brought to you again today, as we have the previous 199 episodes of this show, by our good friends at Reign Total Body Fuel, 300 milligrams natural caffeine, BCAAs, electrolytes, zero sugar. It's got what you need to push the limits and achieve your goals. So please check them out on Instagram at Reign Body Fuel to learn more.
Neal, we'll be back Thursday.
We will.
At 2:00 Central. Do you know what we'll be back for? For the first ever Make It Rain Thursday, and we may even have a special guest.
Oh, okay.
He's on retainer. I'm flying him in.
Okay.
He's going to be at the airport.
Oh.
I will let him know if he needs to show up or not. Probably make that call around 1:00.
Interesting.
And he's going to be at the airport on the tarmac. And as I'm coming in, I'm going to say, hey, I need you at Neal's house, or we're good. I don't know yet.
How about that?
But there's a possibility that we may have a special guest in studio.
How about that?
On Thursday.
Wow. Well, that's something to look forward to, people. Whether you talk about suspense. I mean, whoo, you just never know. All right. For Tyler, I'm Neal. Thanks to everybody in the stream. We'll see you guys on Thursday. Get you ready as we get even closer to actually on Thursday. It'll be game day. Week 1 on Thursday, and we'll join you. Then it'll be a part of, I'll say this, part of a big day of MPW digital programming on Thursday. That will be right after MPW Digital Extra. Quartet of guests. That'll live stream at noon on Thursday. Then we'll have our show. We'll have the Butcher versus the Dance Instructor presented by LB's Meat Market.
You should follow her picks, though, by the way.
She did well.
That's what I'm saying.
She did well.
She picked uniform colors, mascots, and what was her? You remember what her record was? She was like plus of several units, right?
Oh yeah, she did quite well. She would have made money. We'll have that. We'll have Pete's Pigskin Preview presented by Meadowbrook Wealth Advisory, and then we'll have Hand Raise Guys that evening. Chase Parham and I, Hand Raise Guys presented by Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. So a lot of that to look forward to on Thursday. Until then, take care.